Hi, I'm Abby, the host, producer, etc. of the Abbey Normal Podcast. And I wanted to give you a quick update on what's happening over the next couple of months. First of all, we're on a break through November and December. And it's not because I'll be ordering Christmas gifts on Amazon, sipping eggnog, and worried about giving my grandma COVID, though I will be doing those things. But because we're working on a new series, and I am so stoked about it. I really like sharing my middle and high school notes with you, but there's something you haven't heard much of in my notes yet, and that thing is the evangelical church. We went to church a lot, as did most of my friends, and if you top it off with attending a Christian school, well, it was the cornerstone of our lives. Here is some of what was in my notes with friends. My relationship with God has really improved since I broke up with Jeff. Sad to say, but true. Through all of this, I'm really trying to be a witness to everyone and share my testimony. Sometimes you've just got to have faith. Trust me, God's not going to solve everything right on the spot. He will work you through it, though. Trust in Him. Plus, we went to all the Christian-y events like this. Are you going to the Michael W. Smith concert? I am if you are. And we made jokes like this. So how are things in your life? Fruitful and joyous? And this. In Bible class, Misty dared me to stand up and pretend to speak in tongues, but I said, no way. And we talked about things we heard that scared us. I've been having nightmares for a week that I had to miss the rapture and stay through all the sinful pain, even death. Once I even saw some sort of demon. By the way, when's our next prayer meeting going to be? And we debated, quote, Christian politics. This butte is about Bill Clinton. I don't think he is the Antichrist like some people think, but he is going to make things harder. Some folks grow up in this culture and then keep on keeping on. And some folks leave home and go, that is not for me, and happily never look back on church. But this series is about the other people who doubt God, who reject things that they were taught, who face theology and the Bible head on, who laugh about the things that they once believed, who let shame fall away little by little. And also, maybe, still want a church somewhere. So, I hope you will tune in for their often overlooked stories. For listeners who claim the identity of Christian, you should know that this is no fluff piece. We're talking to folks who between them have 5 seminary degrees and 3 degrees in worship music. And for those who are cringing about this series and already reaching for the skip button, hold please. Because the stories also include 5 LGBTQ Christians, 2 women reverends, and 2 people of color. So not stereotypical, living the easy life of majority identity in the U.S. church. Stories about folks trying to make change are my most favorite. If you haven't already, listen to the Win series from early 2021. This time around, we're moving from changing corporate culture to changing Christian culture. Hold on to your pearls. Here's what's coming in 2022.
There is a whole evangelical world that acts cool, but is actually really nasty behind their coolness.
I can kick your ass in Bible trivia, but it didn't make me a better person.
He literally looked at me and said this. He's like, oh, I can see that you're no longer playing the same game that we're playing.
When you walk away from this stuff, you risk losing everything.
Always asking about what is the truth of who we are, the truth of who God is. And that was something that I could not escape.
Reform is always happening at the local level. And then eventually, when there's enough people agitating, the change can start to come to the top.
And I was at that point where I was ready to believe that it was actually the system that was wrong and it wasn't me.
So along the way, we made a very public shift to become an inclusive church for LGBT, and lost millions of dollars and like tons of people, half of our people or something like that.
Work through who you are and who you want to become and how that looks in relation to the church. Instead of going, I'm going to be in the church and work it out, I need to start with me and work toward this church thing.
I know that somewhere out there I'm representing something for someone, a future in a church that they can have.
The intense tension that humans could experience, but also like that's where love and intimacy are also at work.
This is what oneness looks like.
Sort of whether or not you're saved is almost not the question.
Okay, not all Christians are the same.